Hi guys, welcome back to the workbench here at Safe Haven. Tonight we are gonna work on a project. Last week I said I was going to start working on this guy here, Tyler's Traps, and I have started. Oops, there we go. I started working on this guy. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I went ahead and used my spray paint. Let me pull that out real quick here. I use this. This is my primer. Touch and Tone. It's just a cheap all-purpose household spray paint primer that I used. And I went through basically. I went through the parts. Okay, I did this in two sections. The first thing I did is I went through and I spray painted just a light coat over them, just to give them a primer. This is the bracing, and this is also the round pieces, which are here. And they're not all entirely... Okay, so here's the two rounds. These are the two round dowels pieces. And then we got the smaller and then larger stock. And then I also went across and did the same thing with my pieces, but the cardboard I have it on is just too big, so I'm going to fold it. So I can show you what I did here. Alright, so this is what I did, is I just, about 3 to 6 inches away, I just went back and forth, coated this thing with a decent coat of the primer paint. Give it kind of a look that comes through from the wood. No, I did not spray the back. Because I'm going to be staining, I'm not sealing the back on this one just yet. This one I'm doing all different. So anyway, let me go ahead and pull these all off of there. Just, you know, here's the back side. There's the front side. Back side. Front side. I have not done anything with any of these pieces yet. I went through and I spray painted them, primed them today. And okay, that's that. The reason why I got to that point is because this last weekend I went to my parents, and my dad gave me his lower part of his rollaway, which is right here. It's got one drawer that pulls out there and another drawer here. I had to take the wheels off for it to fit under here, so I got the wheels here, and then I still got to clean it out from, because he had all of his tools in there. And then this thing here just folds up and slides in. So that has to all go that way. This down here, I gotta find the lock to it. I gotta get a lock for that. But I can lock this here, so that these doors don't open. Just like these up here, they lock, and whatnot. So I was busy trying to get that out of the car and things in here, and I got while everything was good. So yeah, so it was fun. But back to the project at hand here. Tonight, stay. I'm gonna close you so I don't get bonked in the head. So tonight, I just kind of wanted to go over. These are just the strip wood pieces. I'm gonna do a dry brushing of the stain. I'm just kind of. This is just one of those older buildings, so applying age to it for me is basically any way that I can make it look older, and where maybe it's an older building that's been maintained. Maybe it has a lot of shine and multicolors, like a lot of older buildings that are like brown. There's some silver in there. There's some yellow. There's some orange and black and brown and light browns and dark browns and rust color. There's so wide and varied colors depending on the structure, what it went through, how much sun it got, that kind of thing. So it's really kind of a mix when you look at it. It's how we as the artiste decides to pull all of that out. What we see, how we see it, will show in our work. And for me, I'm not about being 100%. My railroad that my layout's going to be fantasy. It's nothing real. It's just what I want it to be, and I'm only gonna, I'll share it. I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be really anything more than that, really. So, and with as much as I have, I may have two different layouts. I'll have an HO and an N scale. Neither one of them being terribly big. Either way. But back on track here. Tonight we are going to use some Viterro. We're gonna use some Viterro murky brown tonight. So yeah, murky brown is what we're gonna do, and we'll see how we're gonna get this project done. So the plan is to apply a coat of there's going to be several layers to this, and as I said before, this one's going to be a shoot from the hip project. So it's a lot of, oh, I want that. Okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and how it comes out is how it's going to come out. So, and I know a lot of people think, oh, you need to brace your strip pieces of wood, which I do agree you should. But because I use wash the stains sparingly, and I don't get a lot of the curl and the buckling that a lot of people experience because I don't apply a heavy amount. I do little bit by little bit. I want to see kind of how it's going to look. If I want it to stay that way, or I want to go darker, because as soon as you add more, you can't go back. As soon as you hit that happy point where it says, okay, it's good, I like it, stop, you're done, because you'll never get that look back. And you're going to kill the project trying to get it back, and you're just not going to. So, and I've learned that on several scratch build projects that were little ones. So let's jump right in. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this Viterro, and the way that I do it is I take a little bit in the cap. Oop. And I set this aside. I didn't get what I need. Hold on a second here. Because what I do is I just put it in, I just use the cap. And what I'm going to do here tonight is I'm just going to do, I'm going to do them, and I'm going to set them up here out of the way so you can see what I'm working on. I'm going to set them all to the side, and what I work on will be on the towel. And what I do is I take just my brush, lightly, just like that, dab it, and I just run it across. Boom. That's the first layer. Nothing hard, just a simple look. Now I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see the difference with the stain and without it, because I mean you can see the difference. Here's with and there's without, but I want to zoom in so you can see the difference. There. Here is with the Viterro, and this is without. That is the difference. The color is dramatically changed just with that little bit of almost dry brushing. It was almost a dry brush. It wasn't quite. And it seeps in over the primer. And I do that. And that's what I did. So again, what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to do this real close here, so you can all see. Again, I lightly dab, and then I dab on the towel, and then I'm just gonna go, not full pressure, but I'm just gonna lightly touch and drag, lightly touch and drag. See how fast that's absorbing, even with the primer? And I just kind of go back lightly. I'm not pushing on it. I'm just letting it drag across, drag across, drag across. And I'm going to let these fully dry. Yep. Still good. I'm not really putting enough on there to do any harm to these pieces. So, dab, a couple dab. For the smaller ones, I do 2 dabs. And I just kind of go whoop, whoop. I can even dab more off if I want. kind of just go whoop, 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 whoop. And boom, 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 boom. Set that one aside. Sometimes I have, let's do this other one here. Sometimes I have enough. Sometimes I have enough to do another piece. Yep, there's still enough in this to do this piece. And there you have it. There's that wall right there. That'll dry. So you went kind of from a primer gray so this one's before, this one's after. And I'm just not quite dry brushing, but almost dry brushing this stuff on. And when I do this, I'm done. I'm not adding any more to it because what I want it to do is I want it to dry fully before I do anything else. And like I said, yes, I could have braced these first, but because I know how to take care of the pieces while I do what I do, I don't always. I do in some cases, or I should say rather most cases, where you have a lot. Like this is the one piece I'm saving for last because this is where it gets a little squirrely. You have all these small little areas on here and it's potential for curls and stuff like that. Well, I'm not too worried about it. I've done other projects from Frank and they came out good because I dry brush pretty much my stain on. It's not enough to really do any damage to hurt what I'm doing. And I'm not soaking it or saturating it, so it'll be fine. Okay, so that is what I did tonight. That's what I did to the walls. That's step one, is to do a light dry wash of the brown. I believe it's kind of cool because it gave it kind of a dirty look. And then I'm going to do I'm going to go back over this now that I have this on here. I might do another dry brush coat on this, but what's really going to make it start to pop is on these colors is when I decide to go and do the third step. So the first step was to prime them. The second step was to apply the murky brown, the 1 and 2 coats, depending on what I want. I'll probably add another coat to this when it's fully dry. I'm just doing little by little until I hit the right tone that I'm looking for. Usually 1 or 2 coats is usually pretty good without going heavy. And then the third one is will be a kind of kind of a little bit of a black tint to this. So basically I'll create a black wash after I get everything done to the point that I want on the walls, and then before I do the wash, I will have all this braced because I will be using a little bit more fluid at that point. This I'm not too worried about. I can do it really easy. So all this stuff is good. This first layer's done. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll probably come back tomorrow and do the next step. So we'll come back tomorrow and we will continue this. And then I'll do the next layer, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do the wash. Is my plan, is to get this done and then do the wash, because then all I got to do is glue. Before the wash, I got to glue. Thursday night I will do another video, or continue this video and the next steps. So tonight was just introduction to the project, showed what I did. I spray painted with this stuff, the primer, touch and tone. I held it about 3 to 5 inches away. Did that, and then I will also be doing the corner bracing the same way. The windows they're going to be different. I'm going to have windows kind of standing out on the building. The building's going to be it's going to be kind of primed gray, and it'll have the brown and blackish tints to it. And then this building is going to be not sure if I'm going to keep the original roof that Frank had it on it or not. I'm still kind of thinking on that. But got a couple ideas brewing. I'll know more as I get closer. But for now, this is where we're at. I will continue this, pick this back up on Thursday. And then I'll come back on Thursday, continue this project. In the meantime, I'm going to do another coat of this. While I'm also at it, I'm going to be doing the same thing to the corner bracing and the wooden dowels, with what they need, so that everything will kind of start to pull together. So for tonight, that is all I got going on. I just wanted to come show you that I got started, where we're going, what it's going to start to look like, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll probably do another coat of murky brown over this, let it fully dry, and then kind of do some randoms with the black, dry brushing as well, and then let all that dry and get the bracing on and call it good. So it's all good. I'm liking getting back into this hobby. It's been rough because right now I'm working 10-hour days. So I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, and I go to work. By the time I'm off at work, I get off at 3:30 in the afternoon, come home, deal with my kid, deal with the kid and dinner, work stuff, and get her to bed, and then get some downtime for me, whether it's just sit and watch videos, catch up on things, or work on the projects here on the workbench, or whatever. I missed this, and I'm glad I'm back, because this is something that's really takes me out of what the real world is. It just kind of takes the edge off of life out in the real world. And this is where I can create, and being creative is what it's about for me, you know. And when you're being creative, there is no right way and there is no wrong way. Just remember that. There is no wrong way when being creative. There's only a wrong way when limitations and specifics become into the equation. So just remember that. Be happy with what you do, and that's what matters. I love sharing my work. I love hearing the positive feedbacks, you know, and I do like hearing critiques. On this one, I know Ed Hurst out there has mentioned the doors and windows. You know, yes, Ed, I do typically have my doors and windows closed, but on Wayman has its windows open on that one, and this is going to have the door open, and all that good stuff. So we'll see how things go. So thanks everybody, and it's great to be back working and doing videos again. We're gonna see if we can keep them going and just have some fun. Again, not every week is going to be a build project like this. As I said, I may decide to put a boxcar or whatever, just something just simple, easy. You know, I'm not trying to do anything hard right now. I just don't have the space for that. So simple things. But yes, being back at the workbench is awesome, you guys. So we'll come back on Thursday and we'll continue this, and we'll show you where we're at then. Okay, so after a couple days we come back, and as I said before, I went through and I did my other coat of murky brown on the pieces. I did the strip wood, and I did the walls. I did a second coat of murky brown and then let that dry, and then I did the a thin dry brush layer of creosote black from oh, what did I use? Hunterline. So I used Hunterline creosote black, and I got a good look at it. So let's just take a closer look at what these look like. Hopefully I can get these to show the difference. So if you remember what I just showed you earlier, the black was just more of a highlight. It just soaks in and then just highlights things, and that's mostly why I use the black. So this is what it looks like finished with the alcohol stain. There will be more going on to the windows for this kit. I am kind of deciding what color I want to use for the windows, and then I gotta work on the weathered look for those windows so I can just do them. But this just turned out great. I love the sporadic brown and black mix in there, and that, if you look and see what I'm talking about, let's see if I can do this here. Use one of these as my pointer. go. Right in, like, right there, all through in here and over here. That is on top of primary paint. That would be the murky brown, and then I did creosote black from Hunterline. And it just left little wear marks on it. I did not... it just looks natural. That's on that one side. Let's look at the big wall here. And they all turned out phenomenal. Again, you have this wall where you have, look at all the detail on just the wear. The black just highlights wear on the building. I did not use a file card. I did not use a wire brush. I didn't use anything. I just went over with primer, then did my alcohol dry brushing. I dry brush pretty much with alcohol stain, the murky brown from Viterro, and then I used creosote with from Hunterline. Two different ones, which gave it this look. They're all basically do the same thing. They all have their own little bit different ways of making their product, so you know, but they produce excellent results. And I liked how this came out on this piece. And then the smaller piece right here, look how well it adjusted. Look at the colors. My fingers are butter today. There. Now, see all the detail that comes into that. The way that the black went in there, it almost looks like these boards naturally lifted up. They didn't, but it just has that effect. I just like how it just has the... I mean, if you look at an old building, the black is kind of like a shadow color. It looks like it's going... There's cracks, there's crevices, it just falls into those places and just makes them pop. Well, that's what I did here. So, I like how it just, you can see like there's something behind it. And there's brown and on top of gray, and then black on top of all of it. And it just looks so cool the way it naturally affects the age look. Now, I might decide to use a chalk pigment on this to give it some other kind of look to it, but that will not happen until this whole thing's together. It's some, you know, when I use my chalks, it's usually because the building's already together and it's a last minute fine-tuning detail. Pigment chalks are one aspect that I can just go to, pull out my container, which is down below here, and just kind of work with it, and it looks good. So that's the outcome of what the staining portion of this whole project is. Now we get to put together. So I'm gonna brace it. I'm gonna put the corner posts on all the pieces, and then hopefully start to get it put together. I've just been really doing other things other than the hobby, and so it's just been fun balancing that, and you know, being able to do this. So, but yeah, that's where we are. That's pretty much it for this video. Stay tuned for another video where I work on this. I'm probably going to be throwing up some, you know, just kind of work, just showing putting things together on my rolling stock kits that I have. I got several of them that I want to do, so I'm probably just do a video. So till next time, you guys have a wonderful work week. Well, have a good ending to your work week, and then have a wonderful weekend with whatever your plans are this weekend. So till the next video, where we will hopefully have an update on this, along with just working on probably I have my first one I'm going to be doing right up here, and it is one of these. This is a $3 find at my railroad shop. As you can see, it's taken kind of a, it's got some oxidation here. So, and there's not much I can do about it, because okay, so right here, that's what I'm looking at on this one. This one will be, I'm not going to fix this by any means. I can run it as is. These wheels were painted. Why someone chose to paint the wheels like that, I don't know. These, I haven't got to work with these much, but it feels like it's metal. They might be plastic. Yeah, I think they're plastic. So, anyway, this is just something I'm going to tinker with. It could be a good junk piece in a yard. But yeah, it's missing a truck. So I can find new truck wheels, but I want to make sure they're accurate. Because what I did is I also have another one of these that's shell with no wheels. This one's mostly plastic with weight. This is plastic with weight, and this is all mostly metal. So working on getting stuff together for those. But the kit that I'll be working on will be where did it go? Where did you go? Will be my Western Pacific. This guy. It'll be my Western Pacific. It's an HO. It's HO. Most of these kits are all HO because there is no kits that I know of for the N-scale. I have not come across an N-scale kit. They are all manufactured the way they are. So yeah. Where did it go? I know I had it here. Well, I also have my 200-ton crane here somewhere. So, anyway, guys, I have a 200-ton crane that is been started, but it needs to be finished, and it came that way. I didn't personally start it, so I'll get to finish that and all that fun stuff. So, until next time, guys, we'll see you next week. All right, talk to you later.